These are people who are trying to get some kind of vicarious thrill from street violence that people like Tommy Robinson promote.
Keir Starmer, the Labour Party, this is the biggest demonstration in Britain's history.
They are disgusting, nasty.
Talk your truth. Talk
we need to cull their throats and get rid of them.
Tommy Robinson certainly and unequivocally is a far-right activist.
But what they're going to try to do is to change the narrative, like you said, either make it look like it's a racist thing or something else, just so that they don't let us get our point across on what issues we have in this country.
You are here because you love your country. The silent majority will be silent no longer.
We must remember that this is our home.
Appallingly, last week the government successfully appealed against the injunction on the hotel, prioritising the rights of illegal migrants over the rights and indeed safety of the people of Epping.
We don't care what colour you are. We don't care where you come from. But if you want to come to this fine country, you better come here. You better work hard. You better fit in. You better love our flag. Because if you don't want to fit in, then you can fuck off.
We are the start of a counter-revolution.
The Metropolitan Police, they say 110,000. Everybody else I've spoken to was there says far, far more than that. Some of our viewers and listeners are saying they were there and they think it was over 1 million.
Remigration is possible, and it is up to us to make it happen.
We are done watching our communities crumble at the hands of open border, mass, uncontrolled immigration.
There's got to be a change of government in Britain. We don't have another 4 years or whatever the next election is. It's too long. Something's got to be done. There's got to be a dissolution of Parliament and a new vote.
The tinderbox summer of protest promised by activists never truly caught flame. Instead, a slow burn of nationalism may be more powerful for it, and this was the culmination. More than 100,000 people gathering to march in central London, a sea of flags. Unite the Kingdom was the all-encompassing slogan, drawn widely enough to mean different things for different people, whether that was free speech or immigration. People may have had different reasons, but they came for the same person. At the centre of it all, the anti-Islam activist Tommy Robinson.
Here at the front of March, Tommy Robinson's just there, thick throng of security, heavily protected, giving a lot of cheers, a lot of waves. This march extends a very, very long way behind. There's a huge number of people who've turned out today behind that man, Tommy Robinson.
None of his previous rallies had drawn a crowd this big. And what's newer too is the overt displays of Christian nationalism. When the crowd assembled, they were led in a chant of Christ as King, and then the Lord's Prayer.
Hallowed be thy name.
As the heavens opened, 4 giant screens were set up along Whitehall. Organisers said the area was completely full. When Robinson took the stage, it was more like a football match or a festival than a political rally.
We weathered the storm, and today we are the storm.
And that's not much of an exaggeration, not when Elon Musk, the world's richest man, made a virtual appearance to back Robinson.
Support for Robinson doesn't mean total agreement with him.
Why are they coming in like that? Surely that's wrong. Why wouldn't skip on a boat and go to another country and hop off and expect to be well looked after? But apart from that, this is just United Kingdom.
Just to stand up for what we believe in. Yeah. We're losing identity of our country and somebody needs to stand and fight for it.
She said traitors in Westminster. Do you agree with that?
Not necessarily, but I do think he has a good point with some of the things he has come up with, some of the things he has spoken about, things we've got evidence with.
And it's clear that simply writing off protesters as far-right thugs doesn't really capture what's going on either.
My mum has been telling me about this march and I really wanted to go and support London.
It is very important. They need to stop illegal migration into this country. It's tearing us apart. You know, we've got people here, the veterans, our veterans that fought for us and for our freedom, lying on the streets with nowhere to go. But you pop in, get rid of your documents, and you can have a 4-star hotel, free board and lodge.
I think the current government is a disgrace. It's taking away our liberties and making up things as they go along. I've never seen a government so disorganised.
This was certainly the largest nationalist rally in recent memory. For those here, it was not just the cap to a long summer of discontent, but the start of something bigger.
Well, on those protests across, London, certainly, the crowd number there was enormous. But these protests have been variously described by the media as far-right and extremist, white nationalists. But let's hear from a couple taking part who challenge those narratives.
What's your name? Why are you here today?
I'm Anne, that's Andrew, my husband. We want our children to be able to speak without being persecuted or being arrested. We don't want them to have tweets on X or anything else and being criminalized for thoughts. I think everybody should be able to speak.
And Douglas, let me play you the experience of this next woman, a black woman in a hijab, who attended the march expecting to be abused.
I'm going to the September 13th protest and seeing how many times I get called go back to Africa. Oh no. Oh no.
But let's see what actually happened and what she had to say after.
I went to the Tommy Robinson protest on September 13th and it was fine. I also went alone as well. I met my friend like 2 hours later in central London, but I was by myself and I went straight into the belly of the beast and I saw nothing but peaceful people, respectful people. I was even interviewing them. I asked them in my last TikTok. They're actually good people, and I knew I shouldn't have been afraid. I was never ever going to be afraid because I grew up with English people. I grew up with white people, and they've been nothing but polite, respectful. That's their culture, you know. Politeness, Britishness, you know. The issue is a lot of minority cultures for them have become the predominant culture in areas of the UK like London, Liverpool, Manchester, Luton, to the point that these towns and cities become unrecognisable.
Douglas, she gets it better than 95% plus of the media.
Yeah, I mean, good for her in one way. I mean, it's sort of absurd that in the country she lives in, she thinks there's a kind of belly of the beast, which is a protest like this. Good for her for acknowledging that she was wrong and was misjudging her countrymen and women. It's an astonishing thing to see this, Rita, because Tommy Robinson's Unite the Kingdom protest gathered a very large number of people in the centre of London, at least 100,000, probably significantly more than that. It's always hard to say with these protests. Organizers always say they're larger and the police always say they're smaller. But it was a very much more peaceful event than any of the media wanted to admit it might be, or indeed in the end was. There were some arrests, but infinitely fewer than at, say, that great celebration of multicultural, diverse London, the Notting Hill Carnival, where there are always dozens of arrests and you know, stabbings and sexual assaults and so on. The Tommy Robinson Unite the Kingdom event went off peacefully. It went off positively. I watched a relay of what happened from the stage. It wasn't anything like a white supremacist, white nationalist thing. There was a black gospel choir. There were some Maoris doing one of their, you know, the chants and things, and the haka, and it was all very, you know, good natured.
For who are we, a great and mighty people, who have come into
Some of the speakers talked about the things that clearly are worrying my fellow Brits. I mean, things like, yes, the mass illegal migration, the fact that people who describe themselves as white British are finding themselves to be a minority in every major English city. That's a big one. I mean, that's not like an imaginary fear. That's just something that has actually happened without their asking for it. In fact, asking for it not to happen for generations now. There was a significant expression of concern about the rape gangs in the north of England and indeed across all of England, and much more. But it was very peaceable. And one of the things that's striking about it all, Rita, is not just the misrepresentation of it, but the fact that it would be actually very hard to imagine Keir Starmer, for instance, being able to raise any kind of mobilized, group of people for a positive celebration of Britishness in this way. There were bishops of the Church of England who all came out to condemn the event, but one of the things notable about it was the prevalence of Christianity in it. There was a bishop from a rather minority sect who opened with a prayer, and there were calls for Christian revival at the event, all of which was very interesting. But isn't it fascinating that at this time when it's clearly a need in Britain for a positive vision of the country, for pride in the country and much more, so much of the almost all of the political class, almost all the media and everyone else doesn't want to be within a million miles of these people, and indeed doesn't even speak to these people. And good for that girl you just showed for realizing that actually if they did speak to most of these people, they would realize they're not some sort of trolls you can't approach, who are dangerous, white supremacist, nationalist, Nazi, KKK, etc., etc. They're decent people who want their country to revive itself and not to fall into this appalling despond that it's currently in.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Will the patriots make it stand? There's a lady I admire, and you know what? If you listen to me, I moan a lot. I talk about all the problems I've had, all the bad things that have happened to me. It's like poor Tommy. The next lady who's coming up, when you hear what they put her through, when you hear what they did to her, she doesn't even moan about it. It was only when I sat down on a podcast and heard her full story that I looked at her in total awe. This is a woman in Britain that young girls and women should look up to. Let's play the video of who's talking next.
Breaking news here from Patriot on Britain. And whatever happens to him there, I couldn't really give a single flying fuss. You are not alone. We are many, and we are stronger together.
Why are you in my
But it's interesting to me that we're celebrating the wrong things in this society. If you don't like it, you can offer to piss. Many thanks.
Katie Hopkins, come on.
Well, don't you all look lovely today? This is how your capital city should look on a daily basis. This. There is only one man that could have made this happen today, and that man is Tommy Robinson. And let me tell you, you know, you've been called many things. You've been pushed to the back of the line. You've been given labels. You've been smeared by the mainstream media, by the BBC, by all the people who put you down. But you are none of those things, because you are great people indeed. And they have tried to silence us. They took my friend Tommy and they put him in prison. They took my friend Charlie and they shot him. They tried to take my children and they deported my ass from Australia. And I say fuck the Australians for that. But it doesn't matter. They can put us in prison. They can shoot us. They can lock us up, but they will not stop us now. Because we are not here because we hate. We are not here because we want bad things for other people. We are here because we grew up knowing freedoms, and we will get those freedoms back for our kids and our grandchildren. Yes, we will. And I will say three things. I speak for no one but myself. And I remain the biggest bitch in Britain. But let me say, I don't care what religion you are. Just don't try and take your religion and shove it down the faces of my children or my people. I don't care what biological sex you may think you might be. You can identify as a light if you want to. I will take a light bulb and I will shove it up your ass if it makes you happy. I don't care. But do not ask me to believe the same shit that you believe. There are only two biological sexes, and that's all there will ever be. And when it comes to race and colour, we all got along very well for a good 20, 30 years till they started to divide us. We don't care what colour you are. We don't care where you come from. But if you want to come to this fine country, you better come here. You better work hard. You better fit in. You better love our flag, because if you don't want to fit in, then you can fuck off. Yeah. My darlings, remember this feeling. Remember this day. Remember what Tommy Robinson has achieved against all the odds, because each one of you showed up, and I bloody love you all for it. You are told that you are alone. You are told that you don't matter. Take it from me and you can take it to the bank. You are not alone. We are many and we are stronger together. Thank you for listening to me, London.
So the City of London Police has been accused of sabotaging Tommy Robinson's march in London. Now, I didn't attend, so I can't prove this, but there's been a lot of reports from witnesses who say that London police intentionally caused a physical clash between patriots and the far-left radicals. So this is the first report here, and it says, shocking scenes as police move masked Antifa thugs right into the crowd of patriots to stir things up, and are telling the press that patriots attacked them. Met Police, shame on you. As you can see, police literally brought Antifa right into the Patriots protest. Now there's no actual fight in this video, but there is actually a scuffle between Patriots and Antifa in this video, and James Goddard says even more evidence that the police are not on your side. In Whitehall, far left aggressors are given police protection as they attack Patriots. Now this next video is quite serious and it gets very physical between the police and Patriots. Now Jamie says police tried to stop United Kingdom protesters going the route the police gave them to war, but the British, heavily outnumbering the police, pushed through the line. British men are waking up, they don't fear the police. This is crazy. As you can see there, Patriots just completely steamrolled the police there and just walked right through them. Now there's been some very serious allegations about this particular incident, and there's been allegations that the police intentionally sent Patriots down the wrong route, away from the original route that was decided by police. The Essex variant says so. The Met Police direct a crowd of Patriots the wrong way. They come up against barriers separating them from the radicalized hate demo. When they try to go other ways to get to the official route, they find themselves blocked by the Met Police in all directions. So they are kettled and facing aggression from the hate demo the unions created. So this happened deliberately to foment an incident that will be reported as Patriots breaking from the route and causing confrontation. Fortunately, GB News has the scoop on it, and the Patriots clearly asking how to return to the official route, but police refusing to facilitate it. So this is a serious allegation that has been made here. According to Patriots and witnesses, the police intentionally sent Patriots the wrong way, tried to block them in, and this is why Patriots pushed through to go back to the original route that was already agreed by the police and was scheduled to happen at this event. Now there is another report as well. Yorkshire Rose also says that police did actually block thousands of Patriots and stop them from joining the march. And Yorkshire Rose says the police are blocking every entrance to get to the protest. I am with thousands and thousands of people who can't get there. So this is what the majority of people are saying. People are saying that police intentionally sent Patriots the wrong way and tried to block them from going down the original route. Now I did actually watch this event live on YouTube. You know, shout out to MKR Audits, they put on a great live stream for this event. According to reports, there were millions of people in attendance. From what I saw realistically, there were hundreds of thousands of people in attendance at this protest. Now Metropolitan Police reported that 3 million people attended. I think that was blown a little bit out of proportion. I'm not going to get into why, but I think they exaggerated that for specific reasons. I think there were a few 100,000 people in attendance realistically, but I did watch the actual show, the UTK show. It was on a stage in London. They had like performers, musicians and speakers, etc., and it was a really positive event. There was a lot of valid and positive discussions, and also Elon Musk also appeared virtually on stage as well, and he spoke to the crowd and speaking about the current issues that are happening in Great Britain. It was the biggest protest in the history of this country that has ever happened, so it was a monumental event, and I think it is a massive shame that, you know, these fights broke out. I think Metropolitan Police, they did a bad job here by letting Antifa come into the protest. They should have just kept them out of London for today and just allowed this protest to happen positively. Realistically, in the back of my mind, I thought this was bound to happen. You know, if it went positively, if this event didn't kick off, the mainstream media would have nothing to write about, they would have no content, and Tommy Robinson would come off looking like the positive person after this day. So I believe that they just couldn't allow that, and for this reason they allowed the left-wing agitators to come in and cause a little bit of a scuffle and a fight so they can take that footage and chop it up and then continue to feed the mainstream narrative that patriots are far-right racists.
Please do this, are ya? Traitors, mate, a lot of you. This is our country. You should be here standing with us. Answer the phone, bro. We are in it. We are in it, Wes. Violence is going again here. All around us. Sticking, hitting with the sticks. Violence is everywhere. Here we come. Here we are, guys, right in the thick of it again. The AY show, live and direct. Watch this one with that stent. They're still coming through, guys. They're still coming. They're still coming. We have people on the floor. We have children. The police seem to have got a little bit of control back. They seem to have a little bit of control. Not much. Here we are, guys. Right at the front. How are you? Thank you. Where is he? There you go. Cheers, bro. Thank you, mate. Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Stay safe.
Sign up for this. Looking at us. I've got the Union Jack on their own embarrassment to the fucking uniform. You're an embarrassment. You're an embarrassment. You're an embarrassment. What? You signed up for this. You signed up for this. You're an embarrassment. You're an embarrassment. Take a look at yourself. Yeah, fucking embarrassment.
I told a couple of them, right? Look, people don't know who I am. And I was like, can I leave? Because some people don't like me, right? And they wouldn't let me leave.
Now, the Unite the Kingdom rally through central London yesterday has been making huge headlines, some for the wrong reasons, some for an underestimation, actually, I think, of how many people were there. Depends who you speak to. There were 25 protesters arrested. There were 26 police officers injured. But it was a far bigger picture than just that.
Yes, the march was organised by Tommy Robinson, with Elon Musk delivering a live video message to protesters.
Well, one of our lovely viewers has said Doogie Beattie was there. Why don't you talk to him? Funnily enough, here he is.
Good to see you in the studio, Doogie.
Indeed, great to be here.
How many do you think were there?
I estimates at 110,000. I would say it was at least 3 times that. I mean, what was leaving Waterloo was easily 110,000. It was the kingdom coming to London. Every flag from the United Kingdom, and surprisingly to me, the Republic of Ireland represented there. There was full of mothers, grandmothers, fathers, sons. You know, I was amazed at the width of the population in London yesterday. It was amazing. And when they left Waterloo and started to go down through London, the ones from Birmingham joined at different points, all around the kingdom joined at different points. And as they made their way into Whitehall, there was huge numbers, and I mean so many. I mean, Whitehall would have had 110, 150,000 in it. And I mean, I spoke to a few families who actually took their children out of there because they were afraid of a crush coming from the back to the front. And the only mistake, really, that the organisers made yesterday, because they were perfect the whole way through, their stewards were fantastic, was that they didn't take enough of Whitehall before they put the stage up. They could have went right in to the back of the MOD and further on up where the counter-protest was and still filled it. But the problem came yesterday was on the bridge at Westminster, because there were so many of them.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah. There was nowhere to go. The police,
road.
The police decided to then put them off and down this inside of the embankment. And there was different police forces from all over the UK were brought in to help. And at that point, I don't think there was anything malicious in it. I genuinely think it was a miscommunication of police. Right at embankment, they redirected them, which really took them around the back of Whitehall, straight into the counter-protest.
Yeah, I was watching you. You spoke to a man who was saying, we're being kettled, and then the police attacked us. Was he over-exaggerating? What was he on about?
Well, they did feel as if they were being kettled. I do think it was a genuine mistake by the police forces that were there. I mean, we walked back up to where that was. We could see confusion in amongst the police, but I genuinely don't think it was anything malicious, because the amount of people in there, I mean, coming from Northern Ireland, I have seen the police deal with public disorder, and they would rather, keep it separate and push it away. The police were put in an impossible situation there yesterday, and one or two mistakes pushed them down in towards the other protesters. And that's when the flashpoint started to erupt. I mean, at one point I was on air and I said, we have to get out of here, this is getting very prickly. There was actually a flare came in from somewhere, was at my feet, and when I was on air I kicked it away, and I kicked it straight at the feet of a policeman. Who then kicked it up the road. But you're afraid at that stage it would be fireworks or something else, it would land at your feet. But all in all, a fantastic day.
You found the atmosphere exciting.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have failed to be moved.
You're the veteran of things like that.
When you seen all those flags, you heard the people singing, and then you sat and watched them on the bridge at Westminster. So as that went round like a J, they couldn't get. There was that many of them that couldn't get them into the bridge or off the bridge.
Because you look at a lot of our viewers have been and listeners have been criticising us and other media this morning for focusing too much on the 25 arrests compared to the hundreds of thousands, as you say, were there. What was from somebody on the ground? Would you say a vast majority were just there peacefully protesting?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There was total peace. And I would say if it wasn't, I would say it was a disgrace. It was something. It wasn't. And it was because it was family oriented. Really, I know that's hard to say in a protest. But if you watch the stuff of the peace people and so forth back in the late 60s, it was that type of protest.
And every flag you can imagine. And I tell you what, don't the Welsh have the best flag in the world?
Yes, we have flag envy.
Flying in the breeze.
And I noticed the Northern Ireland flag flying in amongst it, which is really relevant to now, because in 1998, Tony Blair very much stopped the Northern Ireland flag being flown on buildings. He encouraged it not to be flown because of the peace agreement. And, that's what you're looking at now with St George's Cross, etc. Yeah. And I seen it there proudly in amongst them yesterday, and I thought, yes, this is people just wanting to say, we're here, this is our kingdom, we're in the capital of it, we want to let you know. And if I was a politician yesterday watching that, I would be thinking twice just about where you're going at this
Well, I
this
suppose
moment
that's
in
what
time.
it was all about.
And as the protest was dubbed, Unite the Kingdom.
And it did.
Absolutely. Well, you'll be back in the next hour for us. So thank you very much for now. See you later.
Fascinating. And I hope that people have been getting in touch saying, we're misrepresenting the amount of people there. We're talking about far right. I don't think that's even a word that's been said this morning. And our reporting is correct, and you can trust Dougie. And he was there Maybe there were more people than most of the outlets, and certainly the police are saying. But it certainly was. It was a wonderful sight to see people being peaceful.
And families as well.
Yeah, all those
generations.
Huge debate about how many people were at the Unite the Kingdom march yesterday, led by Tommy. So between 110,000 according to the mayor, 150,000 according to the official police estimates are between 110,000 and 150,000. It looks approaching as big as the Iraq War demonstration all those years ago, and that was 1 million people.
I'm quite convinced it was over 1 million.
Certainly, I knew people there who were saying, like, 3 million. It wasn't 3 million. It wasn't 1 million. More than 100,000 people gathering to march in central London, a sea of flags.
Jackie says 150k. I reckon millions were there.
Blackfriars, they had to close Blackfriars Bridge and Lambeth Bridge because there were so many people the other side they couldn't
150,000 attending yesterday. Are you serious? Look at the drone footage.
Westminster Square was packed solid. The road going up where the march was going to follow was solid.
The lying police and mainstream media are trembling.
Back, lads, watch your back. This is the biggest demonstration in British history. Britain has finally awoken. We've been waiting decades. They've had everyone scared. The British public are scared no more. This is never going away. Okay? Patriotism is the future. Borders are the future. We want our future.